Right, lads, how we doing? Now, at the time of recording this video, it is Sunday, the day after we've just seen Birmingham City draw 1-1 with Reading. Now, in that game, there was a lot of talking points, whether it's positives, whether it's negatives, whether it's luck, which we had a lot of, or we can talk about the poor refereeing display. But the thing I want to focus on today is things that Birmingham City can fix after that performance, because this video will be coming out before our Carabao Cup tie against Charlton Athletic. So that match might not necessarily be relevant, but the next important fixture after that, the next League One fixture, there's things that need to be changed between now and then. So I want to take a moment to assess what them things are and how we change them going forward. So here are 3 things that Birmingham City need to change before our next game. Now, coming in at number 1, I feel like it's the obvious one. Maybe some people will be a bit surprised about it, I'm not sure. But Siriki Dembele cannot start. Now, my theory on why Dembele is starting is because there was interest from Championship clubs in him, and Chris Davies probably wants to show him that he does have a place in this squad. He has a place in the team, and, you know, he should stick with us, stick with the project. And Dembele's not bad depth to have at left wing by any means. But the issue with starting Dembele is that we have better options on the bench. Emil Hansen, I know I bang on about him a lot, but I bang on about him for good reason. Because he's incredible, he is absolutely unreal, and he is a better footballer than Siriki Dembele. I won't hear otherwise. Now, the issue is, if you start Dembele, like we seen against Reading, that first half was abysmal. Dembele, he had a chance in front of goal, he missed it. He didn't really create many chances, he didn't do a fat lot. Whereas if Hansen started that game, he would have created a lot of chances, like we seen against Rangers, like we seen him try to create some chances in the second half when he came on. I'm not going to say he was excellent, but I mean, he won us a penalty. The point is, Hansen's just a better footballer, and he needs more minutes than Dembele, and he needs to be starting over Dembele, because like I said, Dembele's not a bad option to have on the bench. He's a very good option to have on the bench, and if he's not happy with being a second choice, then maybe do let him go, maybe bring someone else in. But Hansen has to be the starter. He has to be. Because again, a big thing with not having Hansen start is we don't necessarily get to see him link up with Williamson, Miyoshi, May as much, because, you know, going towards the second half, Williamson was getting subbed off, Miyoshi got subbed off. You know, if you go back and watch that Rangers game and you watch how Hansen linked up with Williamson, Miyoshi, May, Dembele just doesn't have that with him. He doesn't have that kind of footballing brain that Hansen does. He doesn't link up with him as well. And with Hansen being essentially second choice, it seems, coming off the bench at half time, he's not being given the time to link up with these players and to create the chances that we know he can create. So that's point number 1 for me. I think Hansen over Dembele any day. I get you want to keep him around, you want to give him the game time, but if it's going to be to the detriment of the better players, we can't risk it. Now, point number 2 is Laird needs a bit of one-on-one coaching. Laird needs a bit of better instruction. Now, Laird didn't necessarily have a great game against Reading by any means. In fact, it wasn't a very good game. And the thing is, it'd be very easy to say, drop him, like we have for Dembele. But the issue is we don't have someone better than Laird on the bench. Right, Future Joe here. Isn't time just a wonderful, wonderful thing? So, as you'll have heard me badgering on about, or as you're about to hear me badgering on about, I'm not quite sure where I'll put this in the video, I said we didn't have any right back depth. Well, it turns out today we've only got and signed a right back. Look, I have the announcement on screen. Alphonse Samsted has been loaned in from FC Twente. Now, this wasn't out at the time recording, so does this change anything I say? Kinda not really, because I think he'll probably need a bit of time to settle in. So you probably do stick with Laird, but at least we have a bit of depth now. We have another option should Laird, you know, not work out really going forward or not show major improvements. It's always good to have more than one player fighting for a position, in my opinion. But nevertheless, you get my point. Back to the video. So what you do in this case is, where Laird showed some, you know, some positives, you build on them, and where he showed the negatives, you work on them. Laird has got the right idea. He always puts 100% in. He's always trying his hardest, and he does always have a smile on his face, which is nice to see. But defensively, he needs to keep an eye on his centre halves, because if we go back and look at Reading's first goal, Laird is the one who's playing them onside. Laird is the last man, and that shouldn't be the case. I myself, I'm not very good at football, but I am also a right back, and one of the first things you are told at grassroots level is don't be the last man. No, but you are told to look out for your centre halves and watch the defensive line. If your other defenders are way ahead of you and you're playing the other team onside, it's really not a good look, and that's exactly what happened versus Reading, and that can't happen going forward. But like I said, it's one of them things that can be worked on and can be improved going forward. So I think that should be changed before the next match, and hopefully it will be, because, you know, I do like Ethan Laird a lot, and I think he's a great footballer as well. I want to see him improve. So that's what I think he needs to fix defensively. I mean, going forward, again, I like the fact he was getting forward a lot. He was really getting forward and looking to create chances. The one thing that, again, just needs to be worked on is decision making. His decision making isn't the best, and it's not even that the decisions he makes are bad, it's just he doesn't make them quick enough. I mean, oftentimes in the Reading game, we've seen that he was kind of taking a bit too long on the ball and was getting forced out wide, and then nothing was really coming from it. I mean, sometimes it worked, but I think he needs to stop second guessing himself a bit. If he thinks make a cross, make the cross. If you think to make a pass, make the pass. You know, I don't want to see him forced down the line and be forced to do too much. It's just simple decision making, quick fire decision making, and again, he could be a very, very, very good overlapping right back. The potential is 1000% there, and in a position like right back where we really don't have a lot of depth and he's going to be playing a lot of games, he does need to work on these things. It's not like a Dembele where he can be dropped. Laird kind of can't be, so hopefully they are fixed quickly. Now, the third point is we need a different free kick taker. Now, I don't want to criticise Keshi Anderson too much, because he came off the bench and, you know, he actually had an alright game. I mean, he took it around some defenders on quite a few occasions. He did also fall over at some points, but that's Keshi. And I do like him. I think he's alright. I think he's decent. I mean, he's not my favourite player by any means, but he's also, like, I think he's just solid. I think he's average. But on that note, I don't think Keshi should be the person taking free kicks, especially in that position where not far out from goal, 1-0 down, it's a very key, important moment. I just don't think he has it in him to score from there, and he proved it. I mean, he hit the wall. He has a great long-range pass, which generally players who have good long-range passing it kind of works well for him in set pieces. I don't know if you find that to be the case. I mean, like James Ward-Prowse is an example. He's a really good crosser of the ball, and he's unreal at set pieces. But I just don't think in that moment Keshi necessarily had the bottle to take that free kick. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I don't know him personally. I can't speak to that. That's just my opinion from what I've seen. Now, for me, a person who I think should be on them free kicks is a person who's already been mentioned in this video, Emil Hansen. I mean, he's the one person for Blues this season who I don't think has took a set piece, who I'd like to see take one. I mean, Williamson took the free kick against Rangers in pre-season. It wasn't a great one, but having watched a lot of Hansen's highlights from previous seasons, I think he'd do very well at free kicks, and I think there's a good chance he would have put it away yesterday. Obviously, that's just my speculation. We'll never actually know because it didn't happen, but that's just my opinion. But what I do know is Hansen has an incredible strike on him. I mean, if you just go and watch some of his previous highlights for Hercules, Heracle, however you pronounce it, you'll see that he's got a very good strike on him, especially from the position where the free kick was as well. He's got quite a few goals from that position, whether it be in open play or from set pieces. And again, like I said, going back to the long range passing argument when it comes to set pieces, he has a very good long range pass, especially in them positions as well. They always translate well. Well, not always, but sometimes they translate well, and I just think Hansen should be free kick taker. You know, I'm not saying Hansen's the best player in the world. Oh, come on, Hansen, do everything. That was a bit dramatic. But I just think he's the better suited player for set pieces, and I think he should definitely be starting. So if having them opinions makes me a Hansen lover boy, I will happily be a Hansen lover boy because, well, they're my opinions. But those are my 3 things that I would change before, well, not change, fix, whatever you want to call them. 3 things that kind of need to happen before the next game. Let me know what you think in the comments below, because these are just my opinions. They're not right, they're not wrong. They're just an opinion. Everyone has one, and I want to hear yours. While you're down there, make sure to drop a like as well and subscribe. We are very close to 3,000 subscribers, so every bit of help along the way is greatly appreciated. But thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. See you next time. Goodbye.